Hey guys, I am happy to announce that we have a sponsor for today's episode, and that is Happy Haunts. If you are into the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland, then look no further than Happy Haunts Clothing, your go-to for all Haunted Mansion-inspired alternative fashion. So whether you're a fan of the dark side of Disney or just love a ghostly good time, their unique apparel will make sure you're the best dressed ghost at any Haunted Mansion. So be sure to follow them on Instagram at Happy Haunts Clothing for all the latest drops. Don't miss your chance to awaken the spirits. Visit their website, happyhaunts.com today.
This is the Rawl of the Dead podcast with your host, Rawl of the Dead.
Okay.
Fine.
Yeah, it's just for monitoring purposes.
Yeah, I'll just do without.
Yeah, right on. So we got Kenny here, Kenny and Lisa from Love, Pain, and Stitches. How are you guys?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thanks for doing this. You guys have I've been following Love, Pain, and Stitches for years. It seems like.
Thanks for working with our schedule.
Yeah.
It's been gone for so long.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We
See,
gotta
you already
see.
forgot. I already forgot.
Go ahead.
Thanks for working with our schedule. Kenny's been gone so long that it's kind of hard to pinpoint where he's going to be.
No, yeah, it's I know you guys are really busy with touring with the oddities and whatever else. I'm thinking Monsters coming up this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So by the time this airs, Monster have already passed. So, but you guys have the oddities. You're still doing that one?
Yes, I got about 6 more shows.
That one I heard is just it's really good. Everyone seems to do well on that.
Yeah, just because she's hitting a lot of areas that don't have a lot of events.
Yeah.
So people come out and really show out. They come out and support, and it's kind of cool traveling and seeing a lot of new faces.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think I only went to the one they did in L.A. and I love that one.
Oh yeah.
There's going to be one in Vegas coming up, so that's going to be kind of close by.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, exactly. Vegas is always fun, and it's a weekend, I think, too. So
That'll
be there at the weekend.
I've been wanting to go to Vegas just to hit some other spots, not the normal Vegas spots. I want to go to the Nightmare Toys. I want to go to the Saw. What's it called? The Saw Maze that they have there. I think they have another one. I can't remember. What are they? I think they're immersive walkthroughs or something.
Okay.
So those are the only reason I want to go to Vegas right now.
No,
I want to go.
I'm a scaredy cat.
You don't like those?
No, I don't.
What about you, Lisa?
Yeah, we did the Zach Baggins Museum, and that was really fun. It was scary. Like, I like being scared, and I like ghosts and all that, but that one was actually like really creepy somehow.
really?
I don't know. Yeah, it was really creepy.
Yeah, just because they kind of do the lighting and then there's like smells and sounds.
That's what they do. Yeah,
Yeah.
They get the smells and that's what they did at the Haunted Hayride. There's a certain room where it just reeked.
Yeah.
It was disgusting. I don't know if that's really scary, but it's more disgusting.
Well, it just
than anything
hits your sensories, I guess, and you're just like, it smells in here. This is really weird.
Well, I wanted to get into Kenny, your background a little bit. Where did you grow up at?
I moved a lot.
Okay.
So, beginning, we moved to El Paso, Texas, and we lived in Juarez over the border. So we traveled back and forth depending on the season and financial money, I guess. My dad had a house, part of the family properties, and it started off as almost as big as this room.
Wow. Okay.
And then within 2 months, they added more and more to it. And we lived there for a while, but it was just a complete cinder block room of just concrete and a bathroom. And we all just slept on beds. We were there for a while. And then they had a little extra money, so we moved to El Paso for a while. And then once times got a little harder, we just moved back. And then within a certain time, like 4th grade, I ended up getting caught living in Mexico and going to school in El Paso.
Oh, okay.
So the school sent the counselor to go look from our residence, house, and they ended up finding out that we didn't live there, and so they kicked me out.
Kicked you out of school?
They kicked me out.
Fourth grade?
In 4th grade.
Wow.
They said until we had proof of, residency in the U.S., I couldn't go back to school. So they kicked us out, and then they ended up kicking my brother and my 2 brothers. One was in middle school and one was in high school. And the one in high school was his senior year. Well, he was going into his senior year.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
So he was devastated. So all the way until we had to move back to Hemet, he was upset,
Yeah.
And then we lived in Hemet. We've been living in Hemet for a long time. But between staying in Hemet, I've been all over the place,
Yeah.
But now we're just, we were living in Riverside a little bit ago, but we moved back just because we were having a lot of issues with the house we had.
Yeah.
But now we're back in Hemet. But I love it. She hates it.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. I don't like a lot of aspects of it. There's nowhere good to eat.
That's the
like,
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
All the stores, like they're gonna close Target. Like
They're
the
gonna
only
close Target?
in
Why?
town because there's too much theft and stuff. So it's a difficult
wow.
place to live that way because there's nothing out there. But I mean, I don't hate it. We have like a nice property. We have 4 dogs, so
Yeah.
like the dogs love it, and that's good enough for me. Plus, the house that we live in is a beautiful house. It's like a 1930s Spanish colonial. So
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
it's aesthetically pleasing. So I'll be there for the aesthetics.
Yeah.
That's about it.
But not where to eat. Like,
Well, she grew up in the West Covina area, so she's spoiled. Everything's there.
we're not spoiled at all.
She didn't have to take, she only had to ride the bus everywhere. I literally have to drive an hour to get there anything fun.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm
that's
used to
true.
it.
Yeah.
I would drive to her house an hour and a half, 2 hours. It was nothing. She would have to go to my house. She's like, this is way too long. Way too far.
Would you say that's a long distance relationship?
Yeah, for her it was.
No.
Yeah, because the one time I was not in the mood to go visit her, and I was like, you know what? If you want to come, I'll give you gas money. So her and her sister came, and they're like, this is fucking far. And they ended up getting lost on the way there
Oh, wow.
from West Covina. Oh, from Pomona. Yeah.
How do you
I
get
don't
lost?
remember that.
There's only one way to get to Hemet.
No.
Actually, there's quite a few.
Yeah.
Isn't it just the 15?
No, well, they took the 60, and then they ended up on the 10 through Beaumont, and so they had to go down the mountain.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
But they
okay.
missed
Oh,
the
yeah, yeah,
exit
yeah,
that
yeah.
was on the 60 by Moreno Valley.
Yeah, yeah.
So they kept
okay.
on going.
Oh, that's understandable.
So
yeah.
they were just like, this is too far. But even getting off the 60 through Gilman Springs, it's a 2-way road. So there's a lot of idiots. Everyone's like driving fast, trying to pass through the no passing signs. It's
Yeah.
intense.
So the thing about Hemet, the distance is far because like our thing is like we do Disneyland. That's like our date night is
Yeah.
Disneyland, and for like seriously, it'll take us like 2.5 hours to get to Disneyland.
Wow. Okay.
That is like where it used to take me. We were talking about earlier, 20, 30 minutes.
45. Yeah, 45 minutes at the most.
At the most,
At
yes.
the most, yeah.
And so like 2.5, even from like Riverside, when we moved to Riverside, we were there for what, 4 years?
Yeah.
And it was only like 30 minutes or so, No, I'm sorry, 45 to an hour at most.
Wow.
And it was cool, but now it's like a whole extra hour. It's out of control. It's too much.
Now the 57 is getting really bad now too. So
Yeah.
so you guys probably hit a lot of traffic going to Disneyland.
Yeah. Even getting off the 91 is
Yeah,
getting
I hit
bad.
that coming here. It was like, I hit the 91. I'm like, what? It's the afternoon. What's everybody going?
Yeah.
Where's everybody?
Yeah, we go in the morning and we're just like, fuck, man, there's a lot of traffic here.
Yeah,
Does no one work anymore?
that's what I'm
I don't
thinking.
know.
That's what
I'm
I'm
sorry.
thinking. Like, I don't think anybody's working.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we all have the same type of jobs.
That could be. Everybody's like doing their own thing.
Yeah, but I grew up in Hemet. I used to be able to play on the main boulevard after 8, after 7.
Mm-hmm.
On Sundays, it would just, no one would be on the main boulevard. And we
Back
could play
in my day.
we could play
Back
soccer.
in my-
But now it's everybody from all the bigger cities are moving there, so there's so much traffic. It
Yeah.
literally takes 20 minutes to go 3 miles from one side to the other side of the road. Like, it's just...
This is
there's-
kind of why I don't like driving in LA. 'Cause
Yeah.
like it's even worse. You'd think it's bad. I mean, it is bad in most areas, but like I had to go to like West LA a couple of times in the last month, and it's like, oh my god, it's just taking me forever to get there.
Yeah. Sometimes going from Hemet to LA, it would be quick, and then there would be days it would take me almost 8-9 hours to get home
8 or 9 hours. Wow,
on a Friday.
that's crazy.
So especially now that we're doing events again, we moved back like what, in February or something, and now we're doing events and we're having to drive to like Pasadena or Long Beach
Yeah.
or Burbank. It's a lot to
Yeah.
drive from Hemet all the way over there, and I just forgot how crazy it ended up being because it's a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't forget.
No, it's funny because me and my girlfriend talk about this. We almost the same thing. She says we're in a long distance relationship because she lives in Torrance and in Covina, and it's like an hour like with traffic, 45 without traffic.
Oh, that's not the weekend, though.
No, well, I don't know. Yeah, if Fridays especially, it's an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Hour and a half easily. But I don't think we're in a long distance relationship like kind of like Kenny, but she does because it's a long drive.
Yeah.
And it is a long drive, and I understand. Now I'm kind of understanding it more because like now that I'm working for myself, it's like now I'm going even just down the street. It's like, oh, it's all the way over like on that side of the freeway. Like I don't know if I even want to go. And then, that's why sometimes when people want to book me, like I always ask where it's at. If it's not over 2 hours, I'll do it. But if it's over 2 hours, I'm probably not going to do it.
Yeah.
It's just not worth it for me. Like
No.
it's a long day because it's 2 hours, 3 hours for a shoot, 2 hours coming back. My whole day's gone.
Plus, I mean, like people from LA, Torrance is kind of LA, right?
What is it?
Yeah, Torrance is considered LA.
South Bay,
Yeah.
LA,
LA.
I guess.
Yeah, everybody from LA, like, they don't like to travel out this way at all. Like, even
No.
West Covina, like, area.
I know everyone says I live far. I'm
Yeah,
like, I don't
and
live
then-
far. You live far.
And then, God forbid, they have to go over the hill, like, over the Kellogg Hill. Oh,
Yep.
no. That's in the boonies at that point.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And Kenny, what were you doing like prior to the business? Were you working anywhere, or were you just being an artist?
Unfortunately, I was unemployed for a long time.
Yeah. Okay.
I couldn't find a job anywhere. Could be either I wasn't good enough or just
What kind of jobs were you looking for?
anything and everything.
Anything? Okay.
Warehouse, I couldn't get a warehouse job. I couldn't even get a job at McDonald's. Being a high school dropout does not help, apparently, even at McDonald's.
Did you drop out in?
I ended up, so I was in high school, and we had, at that time, my parents were getting divorced. So I had to move high schools several times and missed a lot. So they ended up just putting me in continuation school.
I've done that too.
Yeah. And so I was there for a while, and then I turned 18. And by the time I turned 18, they told me that I couldn't continue being in a continuation school. I would have to move to adult ed, which was overnight, because they had to make room for the younger kids that needed to be there.
Oh yeah.
So they just pushed me out, and I begged not to kick me out because I honestly have a learning disability. And they're just like, well, good luck. So they left me there, and I tried it. I tried it for a month, and I just left it. I couldn't do it.
You tried the adult ed for a little
yeah.
while. Yeah.
I ended up trying to pass the GED test. I have horrible grammar. Punctuation was the only reason why I couldn't pass the GED test. So I couldn't get my, equivalent of a diploma. So even to this day, I'm still a high school dropout.
You and I are cut from the same cloth because that's exactly what happened to me.
Yeah.
Same thing. I was trying to finish continuation school. I didn't have enough credits because I partied too much in 9th grade, and I didn't hardly have any credits. Like almost the freshman year didn't even count.
Yeah.
So I was starting on over my end of my what's after freshman?
So that's
Sophomore. I think it was sophomore. Towards the end of the year, I was really trying.
Yeah,
Junior, I tried. senior, it was like I could see it. I go, I'm never going to finish all these credits. So I ended up trying to get my GED. Missed it by, I think, 5 points only.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And then so you can retake it.
It's an expensive test, though.
I think, I don't even remember. Yeah, it might have been
$350.
I think you're right. I think it was like $250 or something like that. I didn't even think about that. Because obviously I don't think I paid for it. I think my dad paid for it.
Yeah.
But I think at that point my dad was like, you know what, you got to start going to work. Go find a job.
Yeah.
So I did the same thing. I was trying to look for a job as well, having a hard time. He was trying to get me at Fox where he was at the time. But they wanted me to cut my hair, and I didn't want to cut my hair. I was just trying to be a rebel, trying to be a rocker. So yeah, almost the same thing. Like I'm high school dropout as well. Have you ever considered even now trying? Would you feel? This is the way I feel. I feel like I do sort of want to get my diploma in a way still, just as an accomplishment. Do you ever feel that way?
I do. My dream has been to actually go to college. I want to take classes for art.
Oh, okay.
And photography, just because it's just the artistic itch in me.
Yeah,
I just want to learn, you know. But that I just don't have time.
No,
and some people are like, "Well, if you want it, you could make time." I really can't.
No. Yeah, I think I tried it actually 10 years afterwards in my late 20s. I was trying to do nighttime school. And I just realized I have been out of the game for so long. This is all new to me now.
Yeah.
And I think I did 3 weeks and I stopped. I was trying to get my GED again, and I was like, they were encouraging me just to finish up your credits. So I was trying to do that. And I was like, I got maybe a year and a half to go still.
Yeah.
Of night classes. Like, this is gonna take me forever.
I think I'd have about a year and a half left to credits as well.
We're in the same boat as that. Yeah.
It sucks, but it is what it is. But
yeah, no, but you know what? But you're creative because you're artistic, and so tell me a little bit about how you got into making the designs for your pumpkins.
Okay. Well, let's backtrack a little bit.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So during that time of unemployment, because at one point I did have a job at Stater Brothers. It was a nightmare. So I ended up leaving that, and I struggled for a few years. But between that time, I started to pinstripe out of fun, because my buddy Mosey had a car and he bought supplies, and he's like, "All right, everybody practice. Whoever's the best gets to pinstripe the car." So everybody fought over the supplies, and one day everybody just left it and I took it home. And every day I would go home and practice until one day I just showed up. I was like, "Hey, look, I practiced." And people were very surprised of the ability I had at the time. So I kept at it, and people would just buy me supplies and bring me stuff. And I was like, "Yeah, I'll do whatever. I'll paint whatever. Just buy me some supplies and I'll paint it."
For cars. Is it for cars?
For cars, wallets, purses.
Oh, okay.
Shoes, little signs, everything. Anything anybody wanted pinstripe, like your bottle, I'd pinstripe it.
Yeah.
And then they would start taking me to little like swap meets and car shows, and I'll just set up in whatever people wanted. And then I met people that would bring me purses to resell. They started bringing me wallets. And I started to notice people started bringing me a huge influx of wallets. I was like, maybe I should buy my own wallets.
Yeah.
So we started buying my own wallets, and then I would sell them. And I was like, shit, I think I need to figure out how to get these cheaper or make them myself to maximize my profit.
Yeah.
So one day I told my mom, I was like, let's start making these wallets and see if we could sell them, and if we can, we'll just continue. And we kind of just blew it from there. I think the first time we sold wallets, we made like $500.
Not bad.
Yeah, at that time.
Not bad.
At that time, $20. If I could get $20 in 2 days, I was over the moon.
Yeah.
You know, every dollar counted. So I showed up and I showed my mom. I was like, "Hey, I made $500." She's like, "What did you do for $500?" I go, "No, I sold all the wallets." And she couldn't like believe it. And finally I was just like, "Look, I'll sell more and I'll sell more." And we kept on selling. And at that time she had She was going through workers' comp for carpal tunnel surgery. She got hurt at work, and so they ended up having to do surgery on her wrist, elbows, and shoulders. And at that point, they had issues with one shoulder and they messed it up. So they redid the surgery, and she ended up losing a lot of ability on her hands. And she finally got her check, and she gave me $1,500. And we were debating, and she told me that the $1,500 was for an investment to figure something out to make more money. And at that time, I was like, let's just buy stuff from downtown LA and do swap meet. We're just going to do swap meet.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, I'm down. I'll help you. And I thought about it. I was like, it's not going to be for us. Like, because I'm not a good salesman person. And I'm not a good business person. I told her, well, let's buy machines and material and just make wallets. And we'll figure it out from there. And the first person came and asked me for a purse, and it took us 4 tries. We lost money on it because we had to buy material over and over.
Yeah.
But once we got it, we figured it out, and we're just like, okay, let's make more purses.
Yeah.
And from there, it took a while. I had a hard time with the business in the beginning just because I couldn't find my niche where I was supposed to be at. It took me a while. And finally, it kind of clicked. We're like, okay, how about we just make things we want? Instead of making things that people are asking us, well, let's just make things we want. And that helped a lot. So we kind of just blew up from there. And then social media came around because everything was old school. Word of mouth, you would have to go art walks, the little fairs around the city, or different towns. I'd probably do 4 or 5 different shows in a week. Sometimes I make...
What years were this when you were doing this? The wallets?
That was like 16 years ago.
Okay.
So like early 2000s, like 2000.
2005 or so.
Yeah, something like that.
I think it was an 8 or so.
And that was quick. That went real quick, and then we started getting to the purses. But at that time, I used to do anything for $20. Like, I'll paint you signs. I used to paint barbershop signs, just so I could have some money to eat for the day and some gas.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I was just always hopeful that they'll just kick me down with extra.
Mm-hmm.
But $20 got me through the day, so I was happy. But usually everybody gave me like $80, $100, and I would take that, buy more materials, buy canvases. It was a struggle.
But you were thinking about the business so you're reinvesting, which was smart.
Yeah.
Because you didn't blow the money and
No.
go party or anything.
I wanted to.
I'm sure you did, but you invested I'm going to buy more materials
Yeah.
and things that I can grow it.
Yeah.
And I think that's important to know.
I was definitely that friend that hanged out with all the buddies, and they supplied the alcohol for me.
There you
I
go.
was spoiled. I was lucky. But I would drive them around, whatever they asked. I was like, yeah, of course. But, I kind of outgrew that. I just, at one point, I need more.
Yeah.
I met a lot of friends in town. I had a friend, Jessica Recon. She took me under her wing, and she showed me everything, all the events, how to set up. Back then, I'd just show up and just put everything on the floor. Like, this is me.
Oh, really?
I didn't
Not
know
even a table?
Not even a table. I couldn't afford a table. Even when I started selling purses, I would show up with buckets.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It took me until like my third year to finally I need tables.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, nowadays, I feel a lot of vendors have a lot more help than I did then. Because then you ask for, hey, how'd you get into the show? Figure it out. I had to figure it out. You got to figure it out. All right, cool. Now everyone, hey, how'd you get into this? Oh, yeah, let me help you. Let me get you an email. I'll let you know who to talk to. Add this person. Even on TikTok now, people are telling you what to buy as supplies, how to set up, how to run your business, what to look for, and I'm like, I really needed that.
Yeah.
You know, I wish I had a mentor like that. Even on TikTok, I wish I had people like that because they don't do that. You know, back then. Now everybody's like really eager to help you, and I love that.
I think it's a good community because the same thing. Like I've noticed, like people we all kind of help each other.
Yeah.
Even when I started with photography, like there was photographers that wouldn't help me either. Same thing. Like you figure it out. Mm-hmm. You figure out what lens you need to get. You figure out what equipment you need to get. Because I was like looking at pictures. I'm like, how did they get this? You know, and I asked somebody like, you know, you just got to figure out how that was done.
Yeah.
So there was like nowhere else to go except, you know, I started discovering YouTube and started taking like some tutorials on there, and that kind of like, and then once I started like doing more of it, I started figuring it out myself. And now when people ask me for advice for anything, I always remember and I always give back, and it's like, I'll tell you exactly how to do this.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't hurt to give advice because at the end of the day, it's still your talent to see your quality.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it's you. You got to figure out how to use those tools. Why hold back to share those tools, you know? Who knows if they're going to make it or not? At least you're not holding someone back, you know?
Yeah, and I don't think it's even... I don't know if it's people thinking that they're going to like do better than you or not. But for me, it doesn't really... I don't see it that way. I'm just like, there's room for everybody, and I got my style, and you have to find your style.
Yeah.
Just like you did with... Because definitely I could tell where it's a love and paint and stitches purse, and I could tell when one is not.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about it, but there is something different about it. And so, because I've seen like pumpkin purses elsewhere and other vendors, I'm like, there's something a little off about it. I'm like, it's not quite what you have.
Yeah.
You know, what you have is very unique.
Well, they started with upholstery, so that might be the biggest difference you'll see in there. You know.
Yeah. So my family background is upholstery. My grandpa on my dad's side used to make vintage dinette sets.
Oh, okay.
And he was old school because he would sit in this little room with a fire pit on a little bucket with what are they called? Tachuelas, little nail tacks.
Okay.
And he would just pop them in his mouth.
Oh, jeez.
And the hammer had a magnet. Well, that was the old school way.
Yeah.
Because you needed your hands. And he would just sit there, heat up the vinyl, stretch it, hit it.
Wow.
And I would just watch him for hours. And I'm like, this is crazy. Why can't you just buy a staple gun? But this was in Mexico, so he was, let's not spend money. Let's save money. Let's make the most amount of money. And so he would make the dinette set in the back. The uncle would be selling in the front, and they'll be selling beds, a bunch of things. Okay. So, and then from there, my grandma, his wife, would sell material out of the front yard. The people would come every morning, and she would sell you whatever yardage you needed for the day for your work. She had staples, tools, whatever in the back. And so we learned how to cut vinyl then. We knew how to, move it, what to look for, different qualities. And my dad started to do upholstery here in California. He had several shops in Hollywood to the point where all he worked on were high-end European cars, and he just did soft tops and convertibles. Okay. He started to do helicopters, boats. He was friends with movie stars. There's even stories where Sylvester Stallone took my two brothers in the helicopter for a ride. Because he came to get his helicopter done, so they took him for a ride.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a nice...
my dad also was a horrible businessman because he was just too eager. He wanted everything. So they opened a restaurant, and the restaurant was what kind of their downfall.
Because, the restaurant business is hard too.
Yeah.
I heard. Yeah.
And so that's when we moved to El Paso after they lost all that. But they still continued when we came back. We've always worked on our garage. Just that's where we did all the work at.
Yeah.
I would have to take apart couches and sofas with little staples all day long. I would get paid $20.
Yeah.
That was the worst work ever.
That's some manual labor right there.
Yeah, doing furniture really is a lot of work.
Yeah.
You got to take out all the staples and clean it up. And yeah.
I commend you
thank
for sticking around for doing that. Yeah, that's awesome.
So, and then my mom got into it, and she was a seamstress, working at warehouses for Levi's and doing denim jeans all over El Paso. We moved here. She got into patio furniture. She learned how to make templates and stencils and kind of just figure out how to make custom cushions for furniture. And so everything that they learned, I watched and learned, and she taught me. And so getting to the purses was a whole new thing, but we simplified it to the point where it worked with what we used to do. So now we had that experience and the ability, and we took our knowledge of good quality materials and took it over here. Because you can you can make a purse out of whatever, but is it going to last? Who knows?
Yeah,
Especially,
I feel like the material is high quality.
Yeah. Some of it is real basic. It's simple. It's generic stuff that every other person similar makes and uses. But the other things that I use and the machines I use are different, and they're going to last you a lot longer on my part.
I think the stitching is a big deal too. I think people don't realize sometimes I get stuff where the stitching starts to come loose after a while, or it's already loose when you buy it, and you just deal with it at the time.
Yeah. I learned a lot. I learned different weights of thread and what they're for and what's proper. So I kind of overdo it because my mom carries like a 40-pound purse. Which just changed. It's just full of crap. Who knows what's in it? But I make it so you could swing this purse and it won't fall apart.
Yeah.
With 40 pounds in it. You know? We do have some purses that we get manufactured and they fall apart because they weren't properly done. And we're just like, so that's where we just, sometimes we're just like, well, they're all a loss. We'll just claim them as seconds because they don't pass the quality. And I don't want to sell you botched purses at full price, you know. Sometimes I don't even get my money back. It's
just a loss.
You know, I don't want to throw them away.
Yeah,
I can't throw them away. And so...
Well, that leads me to asking, did you want to say something, Lisa?
Oh, I was just gonna say that's what you saw back there, like the quality control.
That's what I was gonna ask. Yeah,
the quality control. Like we go through each one of the purses and make sure everything, from the zipper to everything.
Yeah, they pull and they test everything.
And that's definitely the difference between the two, the pumpkin colt version and our handcrafted version. Some of the handcrafted, like I've known people that have had theirs for like 10 years. Like,
wow,
and they use it often. You know, even mine that like I use a lot, and I'm really bad on my purses. I'm so hard on them, but they last a long time.
Yeah.
And like maybe wear and tear, like you know, just rubbing or whatever. But like the actual usage, that's gonna last. These ones, like they don't really compare. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all I was gonna say.
No,
I'm very picky, so even any little imperfection, I'm like, doesn't pass it second. Even things you won't see, won't even notice. I'm no, it can't go.
Where does that come from, you think? The perfectionist, does that come from your...
No, I've learned this from friends. I used to buy a certain brand rockabilly purse, and the zippers would break immediately.
Wow.
The stitching, the handles, the straps. This is a beautiful purse, but my friends would constantly buy them for $80, $90. And I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, bro, like, so your zipper, bro, it's okay. They'll send me a new one. I'm like, but they shouldn't have to send you a new one. You pay $90. It should, you know.
It should last you.
Yeah.
At least a week.
Yeah. And so I learned, and then from customers too in the beginning, from trial and error, it is easier to do a thorough look over and clean it and properly make sure everything's perfect before sending it to the customer. Because once they get it and they're unhappy, it's a whole other mission to get it back, repair it. And sometimes they don't want to send it back. They want you to send them a new one. And some of these purses, the handmade ones, when I first started, I used to sell them for $65. Before labor, just the materials, I'd be $35, $45
For materials.
just the materials.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't buy in bulk. I couldn't afford to buy in bulk, so I was buying per piece, and buying per piece is more expensive.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So the profit margin wasn't big, but I was $65, and even at $65, I had people just insult me that it was way too much for what I was doing. So for years I was at $65. And people would beg me, please charge more. You need to charge over $200 for these purses. I'm like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Even to this day, Lisa's all like, okay, this is this much. I'm like, I can't.
Well, because the thing is, with the handcrafted bags, we literally go in with a razor blade and we cut out every single face. Everything's like, there's a lot that goes into these bags, and a lot of time, Plus, like the seamstresses, right now, don't they work like piece by piece? But like taking one whole bag, like it'll take a few hours or so
For one bag.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, if you go through the numbers, it's not profitable the way I would do it.
Yeah.
But I'm happy the way I do it because I want to make sure that my purse that I make passes my inspection, my quality control, because I know that it's not going to come back. And if it does come back, it's going to come back because it's been years and wear and tear, and it needs a new zipper or it wants a new strap, and I'm happy to replace that.
Yeah.
I guarantee that.
Yeah.
I always tell people, if that zipper breaks, call me. Let me know. I'll repair it, and I'll get it back to you.
That goes a long ways.
Yeah.
That does go a long way. I think having that strong customer connection is. If somebody were telling me that, I'd be like, I want to continue.
Yeah,
buying here.
That's what I'm proud about, is that I could take that purse from 12 years ago and still repair it.
Yeah.
And if you had a purse from 12 years, you could send it to me and I will literally take it all apart. We'll clean it. We'll replace every little worn out part that you didn't ask for and try to give you a whole brand new purse.
Yeah. Well, that's nice.
Because I want it to last for another 12 years and I want it to continue.
Yeah.
I want you to have, in my head, I want it to be the one purse that's all you needed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I understand now that people want different styles, different things, but to me, I'm old school, and you got to buy quality, and just that's all you need. I mean, now we're live in a world where we got to have a lot of options, and I like options, but
no, it's almost like even like I don't know, like people make things not so good. Just to maybe like get another sale out of it, maybe.
Yeah, like appliances, people.
Yeah,
we bought
like,
brand
they
new
don't make
washers
it to
and dryers.
last.
Yeah, a few $1,000s. They took a crap, and I'm just like, what the hell?
Yeah,
The old school washers and dryers last, but not these.
No, that's what I hear a lot as well. And so you're where do you get your stuff made from now? Are you still stitching them here, or do you have them somewhere else?
So we have two productions. We have our handmade, and we still do that. My mom is in charge of all that.
Okay.
Now that I moved back home, every free moment I have, I'm making you templates. We're making you stuff. And now we have more ability to be together like we used to, because when we first started, I'd wake up and we'd start making you templates. Every day we made a new bag. So we never made doubles. I didn't like making doubles. I wanted everybody to have
a unique purse.
Yes. And I still stand by that. I still want that. That's why our numbers are still low on the handmade. Sometimes the most I would make is 30 bags for one design, but that's several years of it,
Yeah.
And I try to change it up, try to make it unique, because I like to have one-off items, so I want other people to have one-off items. The production, the pumpkin cold side was more to help us survive, because doing the handmade, it wasn't much profit.
Yeah.
So the pumpkin cult really came in and saved us and gave us the ability to support a lot of people in my family. So we actually thrived off of it, which was amazing. But like I said, being a business owner on that aspect is not for me. I don't get it. I struggle. It's the hardest thing. I'm an artist at heart, so.
No, yeah, I hear that from a lot of people that are like artistic, but they're running their business and they want to do one or the other. And sometimes I think I'm in the same boat too, because I have a photography and video business, but I really just want to just create.
Yeah.
And I don't want to run numbers, do contracts,
Time schedules.
do all that stuff where I got to like get on phone calls, get on,
Phone calls take forever sometimes.
Yeah, so I'm not trying to like, hey, is this person going to pay me? Oh, did you need this, that, and then going to find locations, going to get models. It's a lot of other things that people don't see that that I'm not doing. Yeah, I'm doing photography, but it's like all these things that take place.
Yeah, and then trying to get everybody at the same place is the most
that's I gave up trying to do like group shoots because like everybody ends up canceling. So it's not even worth it for me. And how long have you guys been together?
8 years.
Yes, 8 years. We've been together for 8 years. And I started helping him maybe like 2 years in. I had like a full-time job at the time.
Oh, okay.
So I would help him like every weekend or so. It was really difficult for us in the beginning because we're both very strong personalities. And I'm very bossy and he's very bossy. I have ADHD and, like I can be a little scatterbrained sometimes.
Yeah.
Very scatterbrained sometimes. So like it was very difficult for us to work together in the beginning. But I think now we've kind of like, I think we both like learned to like, all right, you got that portion, I got that portion. You know what I mean? Like we have our jobs now and we don't really step on each other's toes anymore. Whereas before, like it was just like a battle.
Yeah.
At all times.
Where did you guys meet?
You want to tell them or you want to?
Go ahead.
We met through friends, actually. We have like this group, a collection of like creative friends. My best friend, Nikki from Black Magic Hickory.
Oh yeah, I know her.
I was kind of like I didn't do much back then. I was just working all the time, and so I was very.
What were you doing?
I used to work at retail. I used to work at this place called Vintage Galleria.
Oh yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I used to work there. I was the manager there, and and I had other jobs. I was working at Bare Minerals at the time too. I had like 3 jobs at that time. So I was just strictly working. I didn't want to, And then she like forced me to go hang out with all these people, and I'm just like, I guess, no new friends type thing. Very much so. And so then like we all just became friends, and he wore me down.
He wore you down.
Yeah. He was a brat. He was mean.
Was it?
Well, usually.
Well, what was it like? How did you guys meet though? Exactly. You guys
Friends,
met.
Yeah. Well, we met maybe like, well, he doesn't remember our first meeting, but but we met like a year before we started dating, or like 10 months or so.
Oh, okay.
And it was just pretty much just friends. And then, yeah.
That's good. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she didn't make it easy.
No.
And then he, how did you manage to get into helping Kenny with the bags and everything?
I ended up needing help for Spook Show at
The La Mirada one?
Yeah.
And
I asked her to help me, but I told her just sit there and wait. And there was a line that wrapped around. Like, I think there's 20 vendors on one side and it wrapped.
4-hour line.
Yeah, it wrapped all the way around.
For your line?
Yeah, for my line.
Wow.
At that time, that's when the line started. That's when I needed help. That's when I started to blow up extremely overnight.
That's what I was going to ask you, too. It was one of my points was like, when did you see it blowing up? Was it that particular event?
No. So okay, so let's start before I get off track. So I asked her to help me for that show, And I told her just sit there and wait and just hand me bags. And
That's gonna happen.
so we're learning. I have a certain little like demeanor when I get overwhelmed. She saw that I got overwhelmed. So she's like, she jumped. Yeah, she jumped in, pushed me, and she just started helping. And I'm like, no, don't help them. I'll help them. I got it. just wait. And so she's like, no, and she did it. And within an hour, the line just went quick, and I was like, okay, she could do it.
She can handle it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been in retail for longer than I can remember, like 18 years old.
That's what did it, I think.
Yeah, I've been in retail forever. My parents owned a pumpkin patch and a Christmas tree lot, so I've been working.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's funny, right? Pumpkin patch and the
Yeah,
pumpkin patch.
it's just
it's
it's
really
all coming
weird.
together
Yeah,
now. I'm
kismet.
seeing it. Yeah.
But like, so I've been working and like in customer service since I was a wee tot, like I was very
Okay.
small doing it, and I would be at the register, like hauling trees for people. So like I was at Girl Scouts for 12 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that helped too. Shout out Gracie. I'm just kidding. But all these things really helped me, and so like I'm not going to sit there while he's clearly struggling.
And you're like,
And
hurry
I'm
up!
just like, next.
What bag is
Boom,
next? Come on, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. It was just
So, yeah, I've been so before her. I've been so used to doing everything by myself.
Yeah, you were doing it by yourself.
Yeah, I literally struggled doing everything by myself.
I think when I used to see you vending, you were by yourself most of the time. I don't think I ever saw it. I think it was like maybe at Monster or something. A friend of mine had told me to get a purse from Love Paint and Stitches, and I go, I think I've heard of it because my girlfriend already told me about it, and she gave me the money to. I go, I don't know how much it is. She goes, here's 80. I think at that time it was like 85. It was like it was off by $5 or whatever. But I think the purse that she wanted in particular, I don't know which one it was. It was maybe it was something like that one. You were sold out. And so you had a line there of people just waiting, and I go, where's the guy at? And they're like, oh, he's coming right back. He went to get some more purses. Yeah. And then here you come walking with bags.
arms. That was me.
Yeah, was that you? Okay, and then you came and and then immediately those just went because everybody was already claiming those, and I go, that's the one my friend wanted.
Yeah.
And so I think I waited for like a half hour, and I was about to give up. I was like, I don't want. Maybe I'll just come back. But then I figured out that everybody there was waiting for that same one. I go, well, if I leave, I'm not going to be able to get that one anymore. So that's when I was thinking. I go, this company's getting huge.
Yeah. The first time I noticed that, I bit off more than I could chew. Was our first Salem's Market show that we had, and it was a parking lot in Anaheim at a Mexican restaurant that we were co-hosting with Remy and his wife Connie, and they helped us. They supplied the restaurant. We organized it. We got everybody in, and we made everybody wait. And there was a line of 30 people, and we set everything up. And as soon as we said, okay, everybody in, I was by myself, and I had a bunch of giveaway raffle items on a table. Everyone rushed my table. It was like 40, 50 people.
Wow.
And I'm trying to help everybody at once. Handing out purses. People are just yanking purses out of my hand.
Oh my God.
They're throwing money at me. I'm just, whatever. People are just grabbing whatever I pull out.
Wow.
And they started dropping everything on the table, and
That's overwhelming.
I got extremely terrified and afraid and overwhelmed that I just yelled at everybody. I was like, that's it. I'm done. Everybody get the hell out of here. Go. I don't want to do this anymore. Just go.
Did you say that? You said that?
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
I was just terrified because they were just
Snatching.
literally getting closer and closer. And I'm like,
wow.
This is intense. Everybody had to drop what they were doing, and they had to start pushing people back. Just because.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah. And that's when I was like, I can't do this anymore by myself.
You didn't, yeah.
Yeah. And that's actually the same day. Later on that day, I talked to Nikki to try to get this one's number.
You're like, hey, you know that one that I liked?
Yeah. Because she was awfully rude to me in the beginning.
Well.
Yeah, so we weren't together that time. But there was another time also before we were together. But I was at Scare LA with Nikki, and they were all there. And that was another time that they were just being so...
I remember you at Scare LA too.
Grabbing people. Because he had crates of bags, and people were just grabbing them and... it was a lot then, too.
I wonder how people just found out about that. Was it social media, or was it just people... Because my friend Sage... she's a wrestler.
Oh, Satan, yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I think that's the first time I had seen the purse.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Hey, I want to take some pictures." We were just doing a collab thing, and she had the pumpkin purse, and she goes, "I want to take a couple pictures with these." And I was like, "Where is that from?" She goes, "It's called Love, Pain, and Stitches." I go, "What? What is that?" I didn't understand what she said.
Yeah.
So it wasn't until she tagged you guys, and then I started following you guys. I think at that point, but. I think that's the first time I actually had seen it. So that was a long time ago.
Yeah, she definitely in the beginning was a huge supporter of me.
Yeah.
I appreciate everything she did for me. She's
totally cool.
She used to take amazing photos for me. It kind of started off the second year of the pumpkin bag because the first year, people were like, "What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
What is that? It doesn't look like a pumpkin." Weird.
Of course it does.
Yeah. No. Do the other thing. Don't do that. So the second year, I sold like 3. And then there was a YouTube influencer called
Chloe Happy?
No, the girl from Australia, or not Australia, New Zealand.
Oh. Tata Dixon.
She's from overseas, and she made a YouTube video unboxing my purse.
Oh, okay.
And I wish I could remember her name right now. And overnight, I woke up and my phone was overheating and frozen because my phone was just going off with notifications from Instagram
about
followers.
asking our followers.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I think in one night I got like 10,000 followers.
Wow.
From that YouTube video. And then.
That's awesome. That's nice of her to do that and blow you up like that.
So it's actually pretty funny too because when we first started dating, my dad looked him up, or no, I think he was looking on YouTube. He was just watching. No, he was just watching YouTube, and then he saw the bags come up with a Halloween Happy. He's like, "Oh, hey, I saw that guy on YouTube from Halloween Happy. Yeah, that's not bad. That's pretty good, huh?" It was so funny. It was really funny.
And then I had a few other YouTube people tag me at the same time.
Yeah.
So I blew up, and I still extremely appreciative of them. They really launched me off.
Oh yeah, that's kind of where you saw it, and that's when you started getting the following.
Yeah.
And I remember, I think it was one in Monsterpalooza probably. You had something set up kind of by the wall, and me and my girlfriend were there. We were she wanted to ask you about doing a custom purse for her. I think she's still requesting for it. She wants a white pumpkin bag. And I go, well, let's go talk to him. Let's see if he'll do that for you, and we'll pay for it or whatever. We couldn't even get to you because that line was just for you to look at it. It wasn't even to buy.
Yeah.
So I don't know who. Maybe it was Lisa. Maybe it was somebody else. But somebody told me like, this is the line for if you want to look at the purses.
Yeah.
I go, what? I go, we had to stand in line to look, so we
people
got in line.
Just cut.
No, because I get it now because you have a crowd.
Yeah.
And you don't know who's buying, who's looking.
Yeah.
So you want to be able to have people just come in and look at it. So we came back later and there was no line, so we were able to see it. But I don't think we talked to you about it. But yeah, it's still a request that she's always asking me about.
The longest line I've ever had was Midsummer when Elvira was there, and I think it was her last dress up show where she dressed up.
Yeah.
I had an 8-hour line wrapped around her booth.
I think I remember she was kind of in the middle.
Yep,
somewhere.
she had
yeah.
It was in a circle.
And then I think a little further out was where you go to eat, and there's that hallway,
Yeah.
and then you go into Hall Shadows. I think you were right there. Okay, yes.
Yeah. All day, to the point where her manager kept on coming over and over.
What does he want you to do?
No. He was just intrigued on
Wow.
what I was doing.
He's like, what is going on here?
Yeah. He came over and talked to me. We talked for a while. But yeah, that was my proudest moment.
Wow, 8-hour line.
Yeah, I wrapped around her booth. I was just like, well.
Did Elvira buy a purse?
No, but the manager came over and talked about him a little bit.
Okay.
That is my dream to have a purse with her.
Yeah.
She's iconic.
Maybe you could do a collab with her.
Yeah. But yeah, that was my proudest moment. At the time, that was one of the highest moments for me, just because what I was doing was very unique, and it was mine.
Yeah.
There was nothing else like it.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt special at that time, Now, fast forward, there's a lot of us now. We all do similar.
Yeah.
So now it's just.
There's a lot more small businesses doing a lot more candles, cups, shirts, merch.
Yeah.
Up to almost everything you can think of, there's something in the horror community that they're doing something for.
Yeah. When I came, I was definitely one of a kind. It was me and several other, but nothing like the way I was making it.
Yeah.
I stood out, and I stood out very well over the quality and just the uniqueness. Every time I'd make something, I'd research. I'd go on Google. Every social media thing I would go and make sure nothing I made looked like whatever's out there.
Yeah.
Now it's impossible.
Yeah.
There's so much of it. There's so many things that all look similar. So it's hard. I still try to make something unique, but it is very difficult.
No, now there's like websites that like rip off other merch, and it's not theirs,
Yeah.
It's
I see that a lot with my artist friends. Their art gets taken.
Mm-hmm.
I've even seen art from friends on purses that's not even licensed, and it's just kind of hard,
Yeah.
But at this day and age, you can't say nothing. You just got to move on and take the hit.
That's what I tell everybody. Just
The worst is when it's small artists that take from other small artists, and they justify it.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
But you can't do nothing, because either way, you're just gonna look bad.
Yeah, and it's almost like if you go on social media and you try to out them or whatever, it kind of makes, I don't know, it just causes drama.
Yeah.
And if you're causing the drama, it kind of makes you look bad as well.
I remember I had friends out someone that was copying every little thing I did, every colorway. I'd make one color one day, tomorrow she would have it.
Yeah.
And they said something to her. She turned it around and said that I attacked her. And I was just like, it's sad. Like, I saw it. I was upset. I swallowed it and moved on.
Yeah. You didn't say anything. You didn't. You didn't blast her or anything.
No.
Yeah.
And I even told people, please leave her alone. But since there were people that supported me and bought from me, I was the bad guy, and I guess I didn't do enough to protect her. But I didn't know how to protect her, because I was also hurt.
Yeah.
That she took something from me, but apparently it wasn't mine to keep. So so now I have that mentality where I just got to keep pushing and keep moving.
No, it's the same with sometimes people repost my videos or photos, and if they don't credit me, that's fine. And I just don't really care anymore. I don't have time to really go and go after them. Like TikToks was somebody on there using some of the videos, not just mine, other people that I know. I was like, what am I gonna do? I can't do anything. If they're posting it, they're posting it.
Yeah.
And I think I was gonna put maybe a little watermark on the videos, and I think
take them off.
I did it for one, and I think I forgot about it. Now I'm just I don't really care.
But
I mean, what do you? That's just go ahead. I don't care.
But they're gonna know what's yours now. People that support you and follow you.
The thing is, I know I made it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna continue doing it.
Yeah.
And so I don't. In the long run, you can just go to my stuff and people will find it eventually.
Yeah.
Whether this person has more followers than me, it doesn't really bother me anymore.
I've been here, 12 years? I'm still going to be here.
Yeah.
I'm still going.
You started the business in 2012?
Yes, around there. Yeah.
Okay. I think that's
when we went official. We got all the city permits, all the business permits.
Yeah.
Started paying taxes. Got a name.
LLC?
All barely now.
Okay.
But
I still don't understand LLC.
I
I don't understand anything about business.
Yeah.
Like you said, like learning the business part is a whole different thing.
Yeah, the best thing we've done for our business was get a professional bookkeeper, a CPA.
Yeah.
Made us realize where the money's going.
Yeah.
And what's really coming in and what's going out. And it's
I
crazy.
think that's good to have.
Yeah. I recommend.
Yeah.
Please, that's my biggest recommendation is pay your taxes. Make sure someone's doing your bookkeeping.
Someone's keeping track of where the money is coming in, going out.
Because I realized there's a lot of money being spent on things for events, and they didn't make money. They're just being spent, inventory that we would buy, and it would just sit because we never had time to post it.
Yeah.
Or take photos.
Yeah, or take photos. Like, it's...
Yeah.
We just... Time management is our biggest battle. So, it's hard.
No, yeah, it's true.
This year, we're working on it. We're trying to downsize. Yeah. We've realized that working every day, trying to make a buck to survive was not really worth it because now that I'm taking more time off, I'm still in the same struggle. So,
yeah.
So, I'd rather just enjoy my time, be less stressed out. I've been so overwhelmed, so stressed out. I've lost so much weight over stress just because.
There's always a demand for your stuff.
It's just for my time. It's just everybody needs time for me, and it's hard to ration it out. You know?
Yeah.
And when I want time for myself, I don't have it. It's just
right.
So I need time for myself now.
No, yeah, for sure. And then this warehouse, how long have you been here now?
We're gonna go on 3 years, starting 4 years now. The first year we moved in, we had a huge flood, and we just barely consolidated 6 storage units into this warehouse.
Oh, okay.
Wow. That was at my high peak of pumpkin colt. So I have a business partner named Lynn Haga, and she has backed me on all the pumpkin colt, and she has pushed me. She is, a blessing for me. And at that point, we invested a lot of money, and I think almost $500,000 got damaged in this whole warehouse.
Wow!
Because of the neighbors, from the neighbor's toilet that the landlord wouldn't repair, and then when it flooded out, the landlord went completely MIA and just told me to talk to a lawyer. And since we're not in the business to talk to insurance, handle insurance claims, and all that, I ended up getting like $45,000. If that, and they promised to pay all the labor loss that we had.
That's not even a fraction.
No, and so that's when everything has been declining, just because we have huge pictures, like huge. We have everything just soggy, molded, ruined, and it was all brand new inventory that just landed. We didn't even take pictures, document it, none of it, and it just got ruined. And they were trying to buy it and resell it to someone else to resell. So I had to rebuy it because I couldn't let my merchandise go out and be resold to someone that was going to sell moldy bags to consumers.
Right.
So we had to cut them up,
so we had to sit here and cut them all up because we couldn't wash them. They're full of mold.
Now, were these already made?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, gotcha. So it wasn't just materials; it was just It was already like made.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Wow.
that was our bad because, like I said, going into business, we didn't have the education of you have to have something on the floor. You can't just set boxes on concrete. You got to have.
You got to palletize it. Yeah.
So we're trying to maximize the space, and we took everything off pallets,
Yeah.
and that was our biggest mistake. I had antiques that I lost in here, amounts of paperwork, clothing. We just came, unloaded, consolidated.
You just threw it down wherever, just wherever there's space. Let's just throw it down here.
It was just devastating.
No, yeah.
I think there was about 8 inches of water in here. So you would step in and it would get up to your ankle.
Wow.
Yeah. And that started on Friday or Thursday night. And all weekend until Monday morning, they called me at 7 in the morning. Hey, your shop's flooding. Fuck. Okay. And when I show up and I open the door, it just...
Wow, really?
And you can see it.
God.
And we're 3 rows down from the street. And you can see a huge river going all the way down the driveway into the street. And I'm like, please don't tell me that's me. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
That really set us back. That whole issue set us back. Especially back then, we had a full staff too. We had,
6.
6 people just here, right?
Yeah.
And then plus whoever else we had. So, they had to take off time of work. It was right after COVID, so
Right.
that whole thing too. It was just it set us back a lot.
Yeah, so you're still kind
still
of,
recovering.
in a way, you're still recovering from that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I could go back to the way I started and just work out of my bedroom and out of my garage.
Yeah.
Less overhead, less drama to deal with. It's
Yeah.
just-
No, I get that because
Yeah.
you kind of miss the simpler things that you were doing,
yeah.
and now you got to worry about the business, insurance, flooding, material getting
Employees.
lost, employees. Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard. And it's a huge struggle for me just because I don't want it. I don't want it. I just want to be able to create stuff.
Yeah.
Just like I used to, but it comes with the territory. So
Yeah, and then Lisa, I think when I was first messaging you, I was actually talking to Lisa the whole time,
Yeah,
and I didn't know that because I remember I don't know what event it was, but I saw Kenny there, and I go, hey, it's me, Rawl, and you're like, hey, what's up, bro? And I was like, wait a minute, I go, and somebody else told me that you're probably talking to Lisa. I go, I don't think so.
Yeah,
I go,
you're always talking to me.
and then I think I finally you called me, and I go, I go, so you've been talking to me the whole time. I go,
Yeah.
now it makes sense because
Sorry.
it's like I go like okay now it makes but and then I realized you do a lot of stuff, social
Yeah,
media stuff. You go live.
Yeah.
Um,
So Kenny, like he says, he likes to just be on the creative
Yeah.
side of it. So that kind of pushed me into being more of like the back office stuff. Social media is me. Emails were me for a very long time until we hired my sister on. And then now she does emails. Thank God, because emails are
I'm sure you guys
hard.
get tons of emails. Yeah.
Yes, especially back then, like when we were really busy at the time, it was just a lot of emails and a lot of angry people.
let me add to that email part.
I can imagine.
When I had to do emails when I started blowing up, it would take me a day and a half before I could even ship an order because people would change their mind, want to cancel, exchange. So I learned from trial and error, stop what you're doing, do emails. But then while I'm in the midst of doing emails, people are like, where's my order? I can't send it until I do all these emails. Why? Because if you cancel and I don't do the email, I'll ship it. It has to come back and I have to pay for it.
Yeah.
I mean, Etsy was hard.
And so sometimes I lose 3 days straight of just emails. And then restart it all over again. So at one point I was just like, I can't do emails and do orders. Like, this is impossible.
Yeah.
So emails, even to this day, take up all day. Like, and it's just like simple questions, basic questions. Some are really like over the top, blaming me like statements, and then where's my purse? Like,
They end it with,
Yeah.
and where's my purse?
yeah.
And where's my lollipop?
I used to have a lot of mean, aggressive emails, even to the point where I had people be so upset because I would take so long to return their email. They would tell me to shove my purse and to keep it because,
Oh my God.
I was so overrated, and I was like, I'm sorry I didn't have time to reply back to your email in a, respectful time
Yeah.
for you. I couldn't do it. I'm sorry.
That's insane.
I mean, not to mention like the time frame back then too. Like they're handcrafted bags. They're gonna take time.
Yeah.
We make them as you order. Now we try to make them before they order, but at that time we were making them as they ordered it. So like it would take up to 33 business days, and people don't read the fine print type thing. They don't read our
Oh, of
not
course
even
not.
fine print at this point.
course
I
not.
put it on every one of the description how long it's going to take. The pumpkin quilts they go a little faster, but handcrafted bags they take a long time to make, and they don't.
They don't know. And that,
No.
Even putting on the header, don't purchase this if you can't wait. They'll still purchase it. Tell them, hey, it's going to take 3 to 4 weeks to be made, not shipped, to be
to
made.
be made. Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait that long. But why did you purchase it? You didn't. It says right there, don't purchase this.
No, yeah. You could put all the signs and everything. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I realize that nobody reads. I don't read sometimes.
I
I realize the same thing. Oh, I'm guilty of it too. I'm like,
I can, but I swallow my loss when I
Yeah?
make that mistake. Like on eBay, I'll jump the gun and purchase it, and then afterwards I'll reread it and realize it's not what the picture is showing.
I've been a victim of that too.
But
yes.
I'm just like, that was my mistake. They did their job, wrote it out, but I didn't do my job.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
that's true.
But some people don't work like that. But yeah, Lisa handles everything. At one point I used to do everything. I just can't do it no more.
No.
I just handle the logistics of getting to shows. Um,
And you guys split that sometimes. I notice.
sometimes, well, she'll always be up front just because I get overwhelmed. I get really stressed out now. So my demeanor shows it. And I try to not give that energy to the customers because a lot of them get really intimidated by me because I am a big guy with a beard and, I
like a
look
biker.
scary. Yeah.
Look like a
I look
biker.
mean, but I'm just
Anxiety.
I'm honestly very
No.
sensitive and full of anxiety. In my head, I'm
Yeah.
just repeating, like crap. And I'm just in my own head, freaking out most of the time because people are looking at me, and I don't want to talk, but I have to talk. So
No, yeah, I understand that totally.
We used to do it by ourselves for a very long time, the shows.
Hmm.
And then, like you said, it was just really overwhelming for Kenny to have to be out there. So we got a little bit of help. We're really trying to go back to just, like being there and being present. Because people want to meet Kenny. They want to see him. They want to talk to him. They want to ask us questions.
Yeah.
And so we are trying to be a little bit more present now. But yeah, for a while there, we had to just get help. It was just a lot.
No, I think even at
It was a lot.
Salem's Market, those 2 days
Oh,
you guys were
yeah.
there, you guys had a lot of help.
Oh, yes. We have help at Salem's Market
And
because
so,
we run Salem's
and
Market.
Kenny was able to kind of like wander around,
Uh-huh.
talk to whoever you need to talk to. You were kind of like
I run the
back and
the
forth.
show.
Yeah, you were running the
I
show.
run-
You weren't even there really that
No.
much. You were kind of running around.
Yeah, I have to make sure everything else is going in. We've been doing Salem's Market for 8 years,
Yeah,
9 years.
and it's
So-
always at a different location, correct?
It was usually at the same location. However, we are taking a hiatus this year to look for a new location.
Okay.
So I guess so. And plus, we kind of want to do it a different date because October is so saturated
Oh, yeah.
with shows and like everybody's always busy. We're so busy, this year we're hoping to go to Salem for like 3 weeks, for shows.
Yeah.
2 weeks, So
I want to go to Salem too.
me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're trying to do the Salem circuit this year. So like it's so hard for us as businesses to dedicate October and September when those are our busiest times.
Same here. Yeah.
Yeah, so we have to find a different date. It's just there's no way around it.
Even if I want to go to Universal Studios or any of the haunts,
Yes.
I don't really get to do it.
Yeah, me neither.
You know, I usually am working. Like I think last year I did Salem's Market those 2 weekends. I was actually working Haunted Hayride at their photo booth as an employee. And I thought this should be fun. And I didn't realize it's September, October.
Yeah.
And then all these other things happened where I'm getting hired to do this other show for 1 weekend, Salem's Market, this one, a wedding, back-to-back weddings. And I go, okay, that's all of October.
Oh,
Yeah.
I go, I can't do the Haunted Hayride. So I only did 2 days there.
Yeah, that's how we are. We never get to partake in anything. in
Yeah,
October.
I'd like to this year though. I think I always say that I want to try. I always say like I want to go to Universal and I want to go early enough to where like it's the first week or something,
Yeah.
so I can just get in and
Yeah, we
do
always
a
end up
round.
canceling on our friend Tracy. She has a haunt, and she always invites us to Knott's, like, first night for
like media night or something.
Yeah, no, for the haunt. There's like they have like a special night for all the people that throw haunts, so they get to
okay.
come see it, and they show you like behind the scenes
Oh, that's cool.
with the lights on, and they explain to you like how different little spots are, so you
Yeah.
can see like where they hide and how it looks with the light on. But we always end up canceling on her, and I'm just sad because that's actually a really good event. Because
Yeah.
not only that, you get VIP to the front of the line, so you never have to wait.
That's the best
Yeah.
right there. Yeah, that's
And-
what I want.
And honestly, like Knott's is really fun. Universal always want to go, but sometimes I want to splurge on the most expensive things so I don't have to wait in line. But most of the people I want to go with don't want to do that.
I'm a chicken.
Yeah, and so I just hate waiting in line. Some of those lines are ridiculous, and you still gotta pay a few $100.
I think that's what keeps me out because if I don't get the front of the line or VIP, which could be like $500 now, I don't
Yeah.
know how much it is, but I'm like, I could make 500 or I could spend 500.
Yeah,
You
that
know,
was-
that's the dilemma I find myself getting into in October.
Yeah,
And I'm like, shit, I'd rather go make the money.
yeah, yeah. I just don't want to wait.
And same thing. I don't want to. I stood in line at Universal. I think the last time I had went, we bought just the normal passes. We go, let's just do the normal pass. We can afford it. It was $75 at that time.
You get one ride or one.
I think we got through 2.
Yeah, if you
And
get
one
it.
wasn't even the good one.
Oh yeah.
It was like the one that was a lease line. It was only an hour and a half. I think the Freddy Krueger one was 2.5. And then if we wanted to go the other one, I think the Exorcist or whatever they were having, I forgot what the
And
themes
you got to go
were.
early in the season.
You got to go. We used to go early. We used to go there we get there at 5 and hang out in the front until they open the gates.
Yeah.
And then immediately we'd go in and just, I used to hit the bottom, what's it called? The shuttle one. I forget what that's called. We used to go down there first.
Oh,
do
the one that takes you through the Bates Motel and you got to walk.
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Something terror track or something.
I think so.
And then we'd go back up, and
Yeah.
then we do all the other stuff, and then I'd get them all in, and
Yeah.
then we started getting the VIPs up front of the line. Now I don't know what it's like. I don't even know what it's like anymore.
Even the one time we went to the VIP, we missed out on 2 because the lines were still long.
for VIP was
Yeah.
still long. Wow.
Yeah, that was a few years back, and I think that was like right after COVID too.
Yeah. It's just I don't like.
Yeah.
I can't be in a 2-hour line.
No, I got bad knees. I can't even stand that long.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm a kind of a chicken, so like I won't go into too many things. So it's kind of just not worth it for him to go by himself, or spend the money on me when I'm going to go into like 2. Like, it's not worth it.
See, if you're scared, that's what they want.
Yeah,
That's exactly what they
I'm just
want.
giggling the whole time.
That's what I crack up. I'm usually just laughing. I'm like, this is great. And I think I went to one at Spook, what's it called? Spooky Swap Meet,
Oh yeah.
the Haunted Hayride one.
Okay.
And they actually got me there the first time because I went in there 3 times. It was just around the house, but somebody actually got me because I was like, oh, that was nothing. And all of a sudden, this guy comes out. I go, oh man! He actually scared me. He actually got me that time. I go,
Yeah,
okay.
once
I
in a
wasn't
while, I'll get-
expecting it.
The first time I ever went, they used to have the scare actors jump out of the bush, and this one grabbed my ankle. I
Oh, wow.
screamed so loud, everybody just looked at me and laughed. I was like, damn.
Like a machine. Well,
Yeah.
what do you guys have planned for the rest of the year with the business? You guys say you're narrowing it down a little bit. You're gonna like
Yeah,
pull back a little bit.
Yeah, right now I'm pushing towards just going back to the roots, going back to just what we used to do, focus more on that. Working on me, getting over my anxiety and getting back into it. Just because I have a lot of random people come up and talk to me and assume that I'm a big mega corporation and talk to me as I am money bags all the time.
Right.
And assume that every show I do is $1 million hit and that I don't struggle like the rest of us.
Yeah.
And that it just makes me feel really uncomfortable. The idea that people have that mentality that I am up here and that I'm not good enough to be with the people down here, which is weird because I struggle. Every show is a struggle. Just because I have help, that help is expensive as hell, well, you know?
To hire on people.
Yeah. But now I don't like that feeling, and I don't like that idea of people thinking me as that, you know? So I need to go back to our small business mentality and just keep it there, you know, because we are a small business and we are focused on what we make, and we want to produce more handmade items than anything else.
Yeah. Do you meditate?
No.
I
think I need Olympia, just because I feel like I have a lot of bad juju on me. I feel like constantly, like, it's one thing after another, and I can't even catch up or have a moment of pat myself on the back. It's just like always falling short. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I try to meditate, and I'm sure I'm not as busy as some other people, but I do try to make sure at least that's like brushing my teeth. I think of it that way. Like if I meditate, that's part of my brushing my teeth. That's part of showering. It's part of sleeping. It's part of the ritual. So I try to do it once a day. My doctor recommends twice a day, but at night that's kind of when I'm working more and I forget.
Yeah,
you know, I forget. And but the meditations, I've been meditating since 2001 or 2. Not every day, but it's definitely helped me with my anxiety, because I was having a lot of anxiety in the early 2000s.
Yeah,
and just for no reason. I think I was just partying too much, and meditation had just really helped me focus. Even now, just like before I start my day, it helps me to center what I'm going to do that day. It's like if I'm going to do a podcast, just give me 5 minutes just to like focus, breathe, and just let the thoughts go where they go.
Yeah.
And then if it's just 5 minutes, I'll take it.
I used to have that right before the events. I would go run off and just
mentally prepare.
Yeah.
I get
prepared to have to talk to a lot of people, and it's going to be a long day, mentally draining. And I would prepare, have my little private conversations, and I would get through it. The past few years, it's always such on a go that I never had that moment.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And then I kind of lagged it on my therapy. I kind of just went MIA on my therapy. So I need to get back on that, because that was helping me. But then I kind of regressed, and now I'm just like, I'm back to my bad attitude,
Yeah.
It's just, my life is very overwhelming and very stressed out. So
at least
it shows.
At least you know what you need to do.
Yeah.
And I think the meditation will probably help as well.
I just need to get to it.
Yeah.
I need to do it.
Exactly.
No excuses. I just need to do it. But,
That's what I did for Midsummer Scream, because when we did when I did the 3 days, that's the first time I had done anything that big. I don't think I meditated, but I think on the last day I was like, I talked to so many people. It was overwhelming.
Yeah.
The line was consistent, and I'm taking pictures. I'm instructing people. I'm repeating the same thing over and over, and it just got to be like man, this is a lot of talking, there's a lot of work, and there's a lot of mental thing. So the last day, I remember I just meditated, and I got through that last day just like, oh, I kind of needed that little extra kind of boost, you know?
I feel like manifesting is such a important part of it too. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I really try to have Kenny, like, I try to take a moment, but okay, listen, we're gonna do good today. You know, everyone's gonna be great. We're not gonna have any bad customers. Everything's gonna be perfect. You know, like I try to do that, and like I try to like really like get in tune with it. And Kenny's not a manifester. He's like, he doesn't want to like, you know, like.
I don't want to get my hopes high. I don't want to hear that
No.
we're gonna have a phenomenal day, and we're gonna do really good. And I'm just like, no, I don't want to hear that, because if it's not, I'm gonna be devastated and get my hopes high. I just want to know that.
I don't think it's that even. I think it's just if it doesn't happen, it's okay,
But
and you can be okay. You can be okay with that.
Yeah. We're starting to realize that a lot of trauma from childhood is what's affecting me now.
I think you got somebody at the door.
Yes.
But we're actually gonna end the podcast right here, anyways, because it's you guys were great coming on. We did over an hour, so we are good. Yeah.
Okay.
But no, we definitely should do this again.
Yeah, I talk a lot.
No, it's okay. We should definitely do this again. I'd love to have you guys back on. We'll do. I didn't get to all my points, so it's all good. Well, but I want to thank you guys both, because you guys have both been really good to me, and having me do photos for you was kind of a dream come true for me as well, because I've known about your brand for such a long time, and so I was like, oh man, I get to take pictures for Love Paint and Stitches, and just people know you know, and I'm like, yeah, we're doing this, and
Well, I appreciate
so it means
you.
a lot to me. So
I'm a huge fan.
thank you. I'm a huge fan too. So. Okay, guys. Well, we're gonna wrap it up here. Thank you, Kenny. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you so
And
much.
we'll
Thank
talk
you.
to you guys later. Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk soon.
Okay. Bye.